Have you ever seen the campy 1988 classic, They Live? It's an amazing movie. The plot goes like this. An evil force takes over society and brainwashes Americans into following their orders through control of mass media messaging. The hero of the story, a pro wrestler, Roddy Piper, gets a pair of special glasses that allows him to see grotesque evil creatures which have enslaved America. This leads to one of the greatest lines in cinematic history.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Oh. God, I love that. Ultimately, the good guys win by taking over the literal fake news networks that have been brainwashing the American people, exposing the twisted, vile propaganda monster's true form. They Live is over 30 years old, but it watches like a documentary made in 2020. Our election was rigged by powerful people withholding information from you, deceiving you. They influenced the election by openly lying to the electorate. There are many examples of this, but the most recent one is a case of Hunter Biden. Mountains of empirical hard evidence amassed during the 2020 election that implicated Hunter Biden, revealing that he was compromised by China in potential criminal activity. That his father, the candidate, was also irredeemably compromised. The public never heard this story because corporate media refused to cover it, and social platforms banned you from sharing it. This week, it was revealed that Hunter has been criminally investigated by our DOJ and IRS since 2018. The same DOJ stopped investigating him while his father ran for president. Our media and government knew the Biden family was under investigation and lied to you about it. Worse, they censored you for sharing this true information. Data shows that this alone was enough to win the election for Joe Biden. Rig the election indeed. The report from the Media Research Center reveals that 36% of Biden voters were not aware of evidence linking Joe Biden to corrupt financial dealings with China through his son, Hunter. 13% of these voters say that if they had known these facts, they would not have voted for the former vice president. There is today an organized, sophisticated machine censoring your information, and they are rigging our elections. It's worse than you could possibly imagine. Here's how this machine works. This is all happening, first off, because you are smart. That's the first problem. You stopped believing the lying corporate media. That was your original sin. You canceled newspapers and stopped watching the nightly news and began getting your information from alternative, honest news sources on social media platforms. Dominant on these platforms were conservative voices. First, because we told the truth, and second, because conservative voices were repressed completely in America's DNC media. It was liberating to be able to speak freely and grow an audience. And that ticked off the left, who used to own complete control of our information channels. The humiliating loss in 2016 to Trump revealed exactly how much power they had lost in controlling the narrative. This was panic time. People were thinking for themselves. That cannot be allowed. Americans were voting for candidates even though the media told them not to do so. So the left hatched a plan to silence us free thinkers, all while making themselves filthy rich off of our audiences. It's actually quite genius. Here's how Facebook fact-checking works. A website you have never heard of, run by partisan leftists, stalk your pages of your favorite conservative personalities. Whenever we say anything that they disagree with, these fact-checkers, partisan hacks, write a vicious hit piece, and then they harass us and our audiences by slapping hazardous warning labels on what we have posted. Many times, those labels say something like missing context or disputed. Yes, every political argument in America is disputed or missing some context. By design, it's an argument, you idiots. These hack checks would just be an annoyance, but Facebook gives them the ability to destroy the reach of our content, so we cannot communicate with you and eventually demonetize our pages, so we can't even make a living being conservative activists, all while corporate media is nothing but left-wing activists making a living. My page has been demonetized and shadow banned, in part for posting a meme of 50 Cent with Trump's hair. This was called fake news. It looks real to me. I think this is accurate. Many of these fact checks are pure partisan bile. They are false, fake, untrue. My team has personally received multiple apologies from fake fact checks on my page alone. Here's one from USA Today, erroneously marking a post fake news for no reason. Here's an apology to Candace Owens. She received one from a fact checker after she threatened to sue them for their fake fact check. They had to publish an apology. How humiliating. These are the fact checkers, remember. How out of control are these people? The president's Pearl Harbor Day post was fact checked. Virtually no independent news site or content creator can send a tweet or write a story or post a meme without a fact check slapped on it by social media. There's no recourse for your favorite conservative creators or news sites. We are held at gunpoint by these partisan hacks, and Facebook is giving them the gun to hold to our head. This is the machine. This is what you saw with your own eyes. It doesn't exist. No questions. Shut up. Obey. Who are we? Well, we looked. Lead Stories is funded by Facebook and Google, okay, obviously, but also by a company called ByteDance. What's ByteDance? ByteDance is a Beijing-based company that owns TikTok spyware app, which is an organ of the Chinese Communist Party. Our own DOJ says that the company, ByteDance, is a national security threat, compromised by the Communist Party of China. That is who Facebook gave the power to censor your favorite conservatives to. A fake news fact-check site funded in part by a company compromised by the Communist Party of China. Care to fact-check that, Lead Stories? It says so right on your own site. China, guys. It was always China. So how much of our information and influence does China own?